Alright, what's up YouTube? So, back in the shed. This week's project is just going to be a quick one, bit of a workshop project, which is a bit of a nice change because I've been making a lot of toys and things for my two boys lately, which I love doing, but it'd be nice just to do something different. So, that's what this video is, and it's just going to be fixing up my table saw and adding a few things to it, just making it a bit more functional. I've had it sort of set up how it was for quite a while and it's been working pretty well, but just a few things. So I'm going to be adding a tracks, like grooves for the tracks thingies that I've got, so that I can make a sled, like a proper table saw sled, and anything else like my miter gaugey thing can actually slide all the way through. And yeah, just going to be fixing a few more things up. I want to add another section to the side just to fill the whole thing out into a big sort of almost rectangle, which will give me more space for cutting and will also give me a spot to put things while I'm, you know, in the middle of stuff, because it's just a bit awkward how it was. And so yeah, I think it was going to turn out pretty cool. So let's get into it. Alright, so that's basically where I'm going to be leaving this video. Pretty happy with how it's looking. I made it all out of scraps and bits and pieces and things that were in my shed, and just sort of making do with what I've got. Trying to use up some of the stuff in my shed, and just didn't really feel like paying money for when I've got bits and pieces laying around. So, would have been better if I had different screws, a few things like that. Really happy with how this is looking. This was actually this section here was old tongue and groove flooring that was made up into some panels by my good friend, who also used to be my boss when I worked at church. And yeah, he made them up ages ago. I'm not sure what they were used for, but I've sort of cut this one down to fit into there. Took out a couple panels of some of the tongue and groove, just so it sort of fits in really nice. I had to add a bit at the back because it wasn't quite long enough, but it works. That's the main thing. A little bit gappy at the back here, doesn't really matter, because as long as I can sort of run the sheets over and anything big, and it's just so that it's more functional, so I can put things here while I'm working, doing stuff. It gives me a bit more like surface space, and I think that'd be really good. And yeah, I finally managed to get that back on, so I'm pretty happy. Next thing is I want to do a sled and a better fence, but overall really happy with how it's looking. Till the next one, if you want to hit subscribe, that'd be sick. And yeah.